Howdy. Welcome back to the top 10 albums of October 2024, Halloween Sound. Tonight, we are taking a look at number 6, 666 by Cobra Spell, released in 2023. Cobra Spell, a band that hails from the Netherlands, they are all about love, lust, sex, and rebellion. I was just scrolling through Spotify one day and this band really caught my attention, and tonight we are going to see why. So, let's not waste any more time. This is 666. Starting off with our opener and title track, 666. If you go on the band's Facebook page, you will read in the bio that they are a metal band stuck in the 80s. Well, with this grandiose synth intro, it's not hard to see why they say that. Yeah, that's totally 80s right there. The opener is pretty much an interlude. It only lasts for about a minute, but it sets up our next track perfectly. And our next track is SEX. Christina Vega is our vocalist for Cobra Spell, and she makes her presence known immediately. Fuck. Oh yeah, we're in for a fun time. This is pretty much the opener to the album for me, and this track gives you everything that you need to know about Cobra Spell. You have gang vocals, you have high vocals, you have shredding guitars, and you have sex appeal. This track will have you entranced with this band instantly, and you are gonna have a hard time fighting it off. If you want to get a good idea, just check out the part after the solo, one of many great solos, I have to say. During that part, you end up hearing, let's just say sound effects. If you ever heard Rocket Queen by Guns N' Roses, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But that was SEX, a hell of a way to kick things off. Moving on. Getting to the third track of our album, Satan is a Woman. One of the more seductive songs on this record, and that really is saying something. You can't blame me though, that's exactly how the devil works. You never see him as just a red dude with horns and tail, no. You see them as everything that you've ever wanted. And when it comes to this track, there is one thing that I am always wanting to hear. It's a part during the pre-chorus whenever Christina is saying, kneel for me, beg for me, give me all you got. I mean, the words are one thing, but it's the accompanying harmony that really gets it in. The chorus, it's awesome as well. It's the last line of that chorus that always sticks with me. As I mentioned before, this album is just chocked with bitchin' solos, and this track is no exception. After Satan is a Woman, you have Hotline 666. Another interlude with a spacey atmosphere, Hotline 666 is here to set up our fifth track of the album, Bad Girl Crew. Another addicting tune, this one is definitely one of my favorites. Everything just works for this song, whether it's the sick guitar riff or the drums that follow it rhythmically. Yeah, this band is pretty tight and they know where to find the pocket. And the bridge is just great. Christina holds nothing back and just flat out says, check out these triplets right here. And you know what, Cobra Spell, there is a better than good chance that that girl is too much for me, but I am always willing to give the old college try. Bad Girl Crew, one that I highly recommend. Moving on. The next two tracks are ones that I really wish I had more time to talk about. First, you have The Devil Inside of Me. Just an awesome tune that has an electrifying opening that really highlights the guitars well. After that, you have Fly Away. Fly Away shows a more tender side to this hellish sound. And the vocals on here are some of my favorite throughout the album. Christina shines for sure whenever the band is going 1,000 miles per hour and she's hitting these ungodly high notes. But her cleans deserve some recognition as well. Let me show you some. Man, I wish I had more time. Fly Away is fucking awesome. Moving on to Love Equals Love. This one is one of my favorite songs in terms of lyrics. These lyrics talk about the unfair treatment of just certain people's mere existence. And as somebody who identifies as pansexual himself, this track not only speaks to me, but it kind of speaks for me as well. Nevertheless, this song still contains everything that you have come to love about Cobra Spell so far. Oh, and you are never gonna believe what this hymn contains. Nothing more really needs to be said, does it? Moving on. Next up, you have Love Crime. Not a favorite of mine, but bonus points for saying the band's name in the song. After that, you have Warrior from Hell, which has a hell of an outro. Then you have You Are a Cheater, which is fine. And finally, we have our closer, High on Love. This is a track that I don't mind, but I'm not too entirely in love with it. Personally, nothing really jumps out to me from this track that justifies it as a closer. If I were to switch this with either Love Equals Love, Bad Girls Cruise, Satan is a Woman, I felt like that would have ended things on a much more grand note. But either way, High on Love is our closer. It's not a bad track. And that was 666, a dozen-long song album with a 49-minute runtime. In conclusion, this is one of the hottest records I've heard in a good while, and I mean that in every sense of the word. These girls just have such an alluring charm that is very, very difficult to deny. Everyone excels at their respective instruments, whether it's Sonia Anubis just absolutely shredding the shit out of her guitars, or whether it's drummer, and please forgive me if I'm pronouncing this wrong, Haley Naptha. She is such a consistent force throughout. No matter which track that you're on, you can expect her to be holding shit down. Now, obviously, I wasn't in love with every single song on this record, but it's the ones that smack, they smack like a motherfucker, and they're gonna leave a few marks on you, trust me. On the terror scale, it's gonna have to be a 6, obviously. Now, with a heavy metal band like this, obviously, you're not gonna be quivering in your boots listening to this. But for the bit, of course, I had to give it a 6. However, if you are heavily religious and you take this shit seriously, 10s across the board, baby. But if you are religious, I don't know why you're watching me. I guess you have an open mind, and you probably realize that God has a sense of humor too. I mean, just look at the platypus. So, Cobra Spell. Would you have placed him higher? Lower? Would you have taken him off the list entirely? Let me know. Next time, we are going to be talking about number 5, and I can guarantee you, you're either going to have a heartache or a headache. Stay tuned.